Good morning, parents, social studies, families. It is Mr. Hutchinson coming to you from a quiet Pine Hollow Middle School this morning, as it is Friday and a teacher workday. So the building is a little bit quiet today. But I wanted to give you a little bit of our social studies update like I usually do on Fridays. Some exciting things have happened and some exciting things are going to happen. So let's talk a little bit about what we got through this last week, where we are sitting here on this no school workday. We didn't quite get the plan that I had done or wanted to get done. And I'll explain that. So we started the week with dinner party researching, where students were looking at their assigned roles. We pulled the roles out of our little Jabba the Hutt cup, and each kid was assigned a role from one of our four social structures. So they might have been Roman, they might have been Indian, they might have been Egyptian, they might have been Japanese. They pulled a role out, and then they kind of researched that area a little bit and that role a little bit, who was above them, who was below them. And then they wrote a story, kind of what was your day like? And there were three things that they needed to kind of cover in their story. One was, where are they? So I needed to know they were in Egypt. And so we talked about temperature, and we talked about dry, and we talked about the kind of food they would eat there. And the same with India. We talked about what kind of animals might be there, what you might hear in the streets. Those kinds of things we kind of researched. So I knew where they were. Then we needed to know the second thing. They needed to know who they were. So what level of their social structure were they? Who might be above them? Who might be below them? And how were they kind of treated? And then the third and final part of the writing was some advantages and disadvantages of your station in the social ladder. So some who were at the more towards the bottom of the social pyramid had more disadvantages, and the people towards the top had maybe more advantages. But we did talk about how sometimes, being at the top means a lot more responsibility. Maybe you have a tough time kind of getting people to do what you need them to do. Or at the bottom, you have a lot of disadvantages because people are treating you really poorly, and you don't have a lot of, ability to do what you want to do. So the kids wrote those stories. We needed a third day of research and writing, and that kind of took a little bit of pressure off of everybody. And so we didn't do the dinner party on Wednesday like I thought we would do it. We did it yesterday, and it worked out really well for everyone, timing-wise, I would say. So at the dinner party, which was a lot of fun, talk to your kids about it a little bit. We had the students had their writings. So here's an example. They had their writings out, and they would just share their reading with the people at their table, just at the little table, and there was 3 or 4 people at each table. And then as we were bringing around our beverages and our snacks, they also did a reflection piece where they were talking to each other, and they were kind of introducing themselves, because we mixed everybody up. We weren't sitting at the same seats we normally sit at. And they were talking about who they were, and they were talking about where they would be on the pyramid, and they were ranking each other, and they were having conversations about how they would treat, just having a kind of fun little time talking about their social structures as we were having our snack. And then at the end of the dinner party, we had our Yelp review. So Shay Hutchinson, the fancy bistro that we were offering here, I wanted to get some feedback on how they did. So we gave them the 5-star review with some comment areas, and we got pretty good reviews, although you can see here about half of the kids gave me a 5-star review, although I clearly have some work to do because I got 5 1-star reviews. And then the comments came in mostly pretty decent, but then you got a couple of, I don't know what tung char means. I hope it's not inappropriate. Someone told me that this was gas station food, but for the most part, they were fairly decent, and they were pretty serious on the reviews here. Some kids decided to take it a little bit. Maybe they were trying to be funny. I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, that was what we were working on this week. And so that means what's going to happen next week is we're going to finish off our social structures unit with our end of unit check. So that will start on Monday the 4th. May the 4th be with you. High holy day in my house. So when you think about the end of social structures, we've got a post-assessment vocabulary, which is not graded, but it is going to kind of see that the kids know the words a little bit. Then they'll start their end of unit check Open Notes project, which will take them into Tuesday if they need it. We'll also be starting the Decline of Civilization unit. If the kids are starting to finish, we'll be giving them some things to do as they're waiting for other kids to finish. If people need a third day, it will be available to them on Wednesday. Most people don't need a third day, but if they do, it's there for them. As we begin the Decline of Civilization with the fall of the Indus River Valley and how that kind of does, that's where we talk a lot about causes for decline. decline? Is it geography that caused it? Is it political that caused it? Is it economic that caused it? Is it a combination of any of those three things? We'll also be talking a little bit about the fall of the Aztec, the Maya, and the Inca civilizations, and the fall of Rome. Now, I don't know if we'll get to the fall of Rome on Friday, but it's there. Also, I'm saying I'm not going to be in school, unfortunately, on Friday the 8th. I have a daughter graduating from Chapel Hill, and she's a double major, so one of her graduations is on Friday, and the other one's on Saturday. So we've got a busy weekend coming for us at the Hutchinson house as she is graduating from college, believe it or not. So that's kind of what we are going to be doing. The decline of civilization will carry on after that. We've got one more unit after decline, and decline is a little short one, about a week and a half, and then we'll get into the Middle Ages around the world. So that's what's happening. That's what's going on. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for everyone who donated snacks for our dinner party. I actually have enough goldfish that we have one more round of this, and so next week sometime we're going to have another little treat day because we have enough goldfish for one more round. So thanks for all of that. All right, if you have anything that you need, let me know. If not, have a lovely weekend. We'll talk to you next week.